Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Stephanie Gold, coming at you with a new video. And tonight I wanted to do something a little different. I've been wanting to do a little just quick review and just share some of my favorite books on spirituality and a couple of my favorite tarot decks with you because I get a lot of questions about, what books that I would refer to people, and I get a lot of compliments when I show my tarot decks. So, and I love seeing other people's, tarot decks and their collection and their books that they're reading and everything like that. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. The first two are some that a lot of people know if you practice spiritism or espiritismo. So one is called Oremos, so which means let's pray. This one is called Cantos para Misas Espirituales. So these books are basically guidebooks. They have each type of song that you can sing to different orisha, to different spirits, and basically it's a guide that you use when you are doing a misa espiritual. The book Oremos is also basically prayers. This one is a little difficult. The font is kind of small in this copy, but it has pretty much, again, any prayer that you would need in espiritismo for all different type of situations, everything like that. So in Spanish I recommend them, okay? But these are two great books to have, on your altar and when you're doing those rituals and when you're doing your prayers, okay? The next one I want to share, it was actually borrowed to me by a friend, so I finished reading it, but it's called Ancestor Paths, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the author's name because I don't want to, mispronounce it. I want to give respect, but it's excellent. I mean, just great book. It says honoring our ancestors and guardian spirits through prayers, rituals, and offerings. So this book is excellent. I really enjoyed reading it. One of the main reasons I enjoyed is because the author speaks to you just like you would speak with your god sister or something. It's really nice. Basically the way that she expresses herself, and she talks about how she came to her own path and everything, and just speaks in a very matter-of-fact way, and she speaks on topics that are really important as you're developing, and even as you are already developed, it's a lot of good material to go over regarding the practice. And so she gives a lot of step by step. So I would definitely recommend this book called Ancestor Paths. I feel like I'm on Reading Rainbow right now. I used to love that show. But anyway, let's continue. So another one that I really like that I picked up last summer is called Esoterismo Gitano. So it's basically a book that was written by a woman who spent a lot of time amongst the Rome communities. And basically she was given permission to write this book, and it has different, basically the history and the beliefs. And I have one of my guardian spirits is of this lineage. So this is why I was drawn to this book. So it basically talks about how the culture, the Rome culture, that they see different things in everyday life, their everyday spiritual path, and how they regard, speaking with the dead, and their religious, festivals, and basically their beliefs and their blessings, their cursings. So it's definitely information that I don't take lightly. It's sacred. It talks a lot about their divination practices and everything. So I really, really adore this book, and it's something that I basically treasure as a part of the small, books that I have. And I would recommend, if you have a spirit and you work with that, there's a Rome spirit, that you would read this book, because the research that she's done is very good, is very respectful, the way that she approaches the culture, because it is a very, they have a secret language and all of that. So she approaches it very respectfully, and it's something that you can learn and understand, because that, like I said, that is a spirit that I have from that culture. Okay, so that's why I'm very love this book so much, by Perla Migueli. So I hope I pronounced that right. So I would recommend that one. It is hard to find. Maybe you can find it online. I found it in a store. This one is handy to have around. The next one, 10,000 Dreams Explained. This book is really great because as you can see, it's pretty much like an encyclopedia of all the different dreams that you can have. If you're dreaming about water, if it's running water, if it's, if any type of imagery that you're seeing in your dreams. So most of the time I understand my dreams, but sometimes it's something good that you can get one of these books and you can grab it and you can see different interpretations, okay, of what you're seeing in your dream. Like, for example, if you're seeing storms, or if you're having visions of flying, or if you're in the campo a lot, things like that. Having a dream handbook is great, okay, so that you can just, pop it open and go to whichever image that you're seeing, or whichever situation in your dream, and it'll give you different interpretations of that, okay? And you can work with that and you can learn and you can help other people who come to you and desire interpretation for their dreams as well, okay? So that's one, Dreams Explained by Pamela J. Ball. So I would recommend that book. The final book that I wanted to recommend is called Tarot Spells. This is something, I think I showed a tarot spell for addiction breaking on a previous video last year, but it's by Janina Renee. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So this book I really enjoy. As you can see, it's pretty, like, it's thin, but it's longer, because she goes through and she shows the different spreads that you can use. I think that's so cool. I love looking at it. It's just really like a step-by-step guide if you're looking for, this is the one on breaking addiction. So you would put like your the tarot card that represents yourself in the middle, and then you would put like the world, strength, judgment, temperaments, okay? So this is one. And so it's basically, this is great because a lot of times when we think about tarot, we think about, tarot readings and what the tarot readings say, but actually the cards are portals, and reflections of yourself, of the world around us. So you can meditate on the cards, as this was saying. You can do rituals with the cards. You can, and basically the different ways that you set them up, it has for all the different topics. So I could just go on and on. I really, really like this book a lot. I've used it, and I would like to share more tarot spells also in the future for you guys who don't have access to the book. But I think it's amazing if you guys can pick it up. Again, it is Tarot Spells by Janina Renee. So a way to really use the tarot in your day-to-day life. Like I always say, everyday spirit life. One thing that I do that I've shared several times is you take a card, for the beginning of the week, and something that you want to focus on, that you want to see manifest in your life, and you put it in a prominent place and you focus on that, and then you see the results, okay? So that's just a small type of thing, but this goes more into like actual spells that you can do. So I would highly recommend it, okay? Which brings me to my next thing, just a couple of decks that I use. These are my favorite ones. Sometimes I don't use these as much. I actually always end up using the very first deck that I was ever given. I don't know why. That one just always draws me back. But these are two ones that I really enjoy. This one is Tarot of the Angels, and it's an Italian deck. Tarot de los Angeles. Okay, so that's what the box looks like. And I really like this deck because like this one looks kind of like San Miguel for the tower, or they all have angels in them, depictions of angels as the imagery. And I like it because I do work with angels, just the main archangels. And, I pray to them and all of that. And so this is really a way that I can channel that when I do the readings for other people. It's also, this is a nice deck to have because if you're starting out with somebody that maybe has never had a reading, or someone that comes from a very religious background, they may be afraid of some of the imagery that's on some of the other tarot cards. So this one is kind of like a nice entrance, you know, to that for them. The images are more comforting in that, and they're representing angelic beings, like I said, that are present in each card. So yeah, I really like this. I think the art is beautiful, and it's just something very calming, very soothing. Even I like the art on the back and the color blue that they chose, and it just looks really nice. I really enjoy it. There's a Queen of Swords there. So yeah, this is a nice deck, Tarot of the Angels. The next one is probably one of my very favorite decks. Let me show you the box. It's called El Gran Tarot Esotérico. Sorry, I don't know why I stopped on that word a little bit, but the Great Esoteric Tarot. Okay, and so this one actually has extra cards. Like, for example, for the Magician, there's actually two. There's a male and a female. And the cards have slightly different meanings. I think these are so amazing because they have the Hebrew letters in the top. And just the imagery and the art is just really fantastic. That's the back of the card. Okay, so that's like the Six of Swords. I really, really like these. And I've made candles, you know, with these images on it because I like making tarot candles, and you put the images that you want, much like the tarot spells. And basically you manifest that as the candle burns. So I use a lot of times these for my personal use. This art and this imagery, because something about it really resonates with me. I really like how they did it. I'm trying to find some, like, it just looks very I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Maybe you guys can say in the comment section what your thoughts are. So I really, really enjoyed this deck. Like I said, there are a couple of extra ones in here. I'm trying to find them. But like, for example, there's the Sacerdote, but then there's the Sacerdotista as well. So the female counterpart. So yeah, this is just a beautiful deck. And I really do not read with these that much. And I want to start soon, but these ones are like, they're still new. They're still like not even broken in, but I really enjoy more working with them on an artistic level and the ritual level, and they have a lot in the imagery. It seems very simple. Like this one is a card that is not in the usual deck that you see. It's called La Picota. So this is basically like a fork in the road. So this is really cool, the imagery. Here's the star, El Astro. So you can see they have the different symbols in there, and they just incorporate so much, and it's just, I love it. I could go on and on, like I said. So you guys tell me, what are some of you guys' favorite tarot decks? What are some of your favorite books regarding your spiritual practices? And thank you so much for tuning into this video. I'm going to have more coming soon. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. And please visit everydayspiritlife.wordpress.com for the blog, for upcoming events. And have a wonderful night. Thank you guys so much. Ashe.